Here we go.
Yeah. It's time for the E612 show.
12 show in the house.
It's 612 somewhere. And you know what that means.
Right now. What's it mean?
It's time to get live.
All right.
It's time to get raw. It's time to talk about...
Sounds like you're going to talk about wrestling. Well, we're not. The E612 show today is...
Wherever you're at, we want to just thank you. Whether you're watching, listening, you're on Viva Radio. Welcome in the fans in studio.
In front of a live studio audience.
In front of a live studio. Yeah. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
You know how we do. Every
time we do this,
it starts at 6:12.
That's
and
right.
So welcome to the E612 show. We got a good one for you
Great
today.
show. Great show.
We're gonna continue on our series.
Mm-hmm.
And
but we have to start out.
How do we start out?
With the Warrior's Creed.
With the Warrior's Creed.
That's right.
Come on, say it with me. I am.
I am.
Come on, guess you can do it too. Say I am.
I am.
Somebody. I am.
I am.
So one of our guests tonight kind of sounds like a wrestler. So he's like, I am.
I know.
Somebody.
Sounds like. Kind of
Right.
looks like.
Looks like. Sounds like. But you'll see him in a second here. Repeat after me. Say I am.
I am.
Somebody. I am.
I am.
A warrior.
A warrior.
Therefore I am.
Therefore I am.
Victorious.
Victorious.
And that's because I am.
And that's because I am.
A child of God.
A child of God. Woohoo! All right, calm down, guys in the audience.
Yeah.
Get
Calm
you
down.
some.
What's the show topic today? Don't go anywhere because you're not going to want to miss this.
Well, we don't have notes, but if we had notes, you are going out of order.
All right,
But the show...
I'm going to read the verse. You're supposed to... It's like you're fly fishing. You got to...
Oh my gosh, what do you know about fly fishing?
Nothing.
Besides the show we just
watched
started watching.
What is it? The Meadows? What is it?
The Madison.
The Madison. It's like you're fly... You got to put it out there and then kind of reel them in so that they don't go anywhere.
Yeah, okay.
So...
I think
right.
Scripture would be good.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
That's a
about.
great
Dan the
one.
man.
That's
Okay,
a
here we
great
go.
start.
Matthew 7:24. If you have your Bibles, turn with me there. But if you're listening on the radio,
Just listen,
just listen. Don't look it up because I don't want you to crash.
especially if you're driving.
Everyone then who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. 25. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, but it didn't fall, because it had been founded on the rock.
Come
Come on, somebody. 26. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man. Someone say foolish man.
Foolish man.
Who built his house on the sand. That's not a good house. 27. And then the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat against the house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it.
Yikes.
Wow.
That's some good word right there.
That's some good word. Build your house upon the rock. And we're trying to help you through this series. Build your house not only on the rock, but with some good people. And showing you how to actually go out and build and seek out that first house. And so go ahead and
Well, and so it's also kind of talking about, as you're building your life, right? Or your house in the scripture, you need to build it on the rock. You're building your life on the word of God is basically what it's saying. And if you do that, your house or your life, it won't fall so easily when the storms of life hit, because how many know that it's not if the storms of life come, right? It's when.
they're coming.
And when they come,
And
you
if
want
you
to
live on the countryside like I do,
oh man, they come a lot.
they come a lot.
And you want your house, your life to be built on the foundation of the word of God. And so that's what we want to talk about, because it's not like you don't fear, because your house is built on the word. Your house is built on the rock.
Amen.
And so in this episode,
we're going to continue our series on home buying. All right.
Yeah.
The process and what it goes through and what you got to go through. And this is good because, again, this is not something that they teach you in school. I wish they would
Yeah.
have taught us something that we need in life in the future.
You don't use the Pythagorean theorem on a daily basis?
Not necessarily. And so we're walking through the process with Jeff Burke and Associates. He's our real estate agent. And so the first episode we talked about on this series was how to buy the home.
Or sell.
Or sell the home. You did both for us. And then mortgage lender we had on the last episode, Eloy.
Yep.
And talking about show me the money.
Yeah, and so we have a goal of educating listeners right now. And so if you missed the first 2 episodes, go back. Where's your rewind button? There you go. Go back and listen to the first 2 episodes. And and you can
Summer break.
and you can find it on YouTube or Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, or if you're listening on Vibra Radio, thank you for listening. On Thursday nights at 7 and 10. Even though this is the E612 show.
E612 at 7 or 10.
On Thursdays. Go ahead.
If you haven't been listening, let's have Jeff Burke reintroduce himself one more time. And we'll go from there.
So, excuse me, Jeff Burke, been selling for about 28 years. One of the things, got a pretty large team, cover about 3/4 of the state of Michigan, sell pretty high level, sold about 1,200 homes in the last 5 years alone. Average realtor, I think we shared last week, 4 homes a year, which is kind of crazy, right? 71% of realtors last year didn't sell one property, which is even scarier.
There's nothing to sell.
Yeah. So, I mean, wanting to bring everybody together, take buyers through the process, I think that's a scary thing because they don't know what they don't know. And how do I get educated? There's really not much out there. That's why I figured we'd do this series and really bring it to all the listeners and everything there. And just really spread the knowledge, for it as well. So
it's good.
It's
good.
Yep.
Makes it, you can dumb it down for somebody to, okay, what do I need to do and how does the process actually, where do I start? Where do I go from here? And our guest today on the show, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Dan Wiles. I'm an inspector, a licensed builder here, native of mid-Michigan. I've got almost 30 years in the construction field, both in sales, marketing, project management.
So you've been in the game for a while.
Yeah, a minute.
So what is your company called?
It's Wiles Inspection Services.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say Inspector Gadget. That would have been a cool one.
Oh, man.
It's probably taken.
And then Worth Wiles Construction for my construction
Oh,
company.
nice. Worthwhile. Like your
Worth
last name.
Wiles, yes.
Worth Wiles.
Yes.
Smart. Cool.
Well, this show is worth the while to stick around and
Worth all the whiles.
All the whiles
Yeah.
to stick around and listen.
Yeah.
As we get down in deep talking about this part of the show is can you guys give me what it is to inspect a house?
Yeah. So I'll just share real quick.
Okay.
So Dan's here. Dan, on everything with the inspections to make sure your house is not built on sand.
Yeah, there you
Right?
go.
He goes and inspects the home, picks it apart. One of the scariest things is that in the state of Michigan, you don't have to be licensed or certified to do inspections, right? People don't know that. I tell buyers all the time, it's like you can go put a magnet on your car, put your cell phone on it, ABC Home Inspector, and your phone could ring, right? Which is scary, right?
Wow.
Dan is, he's a licensed builder. He's certified. A lot of the certifications, they need to do a minimum of 300 home inspections just to get the certification, right? And what I want all of my clients...
So hold on. Before you keep going there, don't lose your thought. But that's huge.
Very huge. Yep.
So that's something that we don't even... I mean, as the regular person goes and looks for a home, that's not even something we would know.
No.
Yeah. They could just have their dad inspect it.
Yeah.
Right? And it would be fine.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
It's quite scary.
Yeah.
I do 650 or 700 inspections a year.
Wow.
I've done almost 10,000 inspections. And the unfortunate thing is I have the opportunity to go in behind people, buyers that are in their home 2, 3, 4 months in, and they're running into all these issues.
Wow.
And not saying that everything could be caught, but
Sure.
a lot of times they never had that opportunity. And I think it's right that everybody has that opportunity to know who they're using, what they're getting into. I consult other people. There's a lot of great inspectors out there, and there's some bad ones.
Yeah.
And even knowing the construction field the way I did, I was not prepared for coming into this.
Mm-hmm.
After 20 years in the business, there is so much that you have to know and do, and
Sure.
you have a very short window
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good. That's good knowledge right there. Is know who you actually have,
Who you hire.
who you hire for inspecting is actually going to be beneficial, and they know what they're looking for.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And there's a lot like, with us realtors, we go in, and I always say it's like I show 5, 8, 10 houses, to a buyer. I'm doing 5, 8, 10 mini home inspections every day.
Yeah.
Right. So going in and try to pick out like foundation, whatever repairs need to be done, roof, furnace, water heater, structural, electrical, all this stuff, right? So doing all that, but they say that doing an inspection, and I hope I'm not stealing your thunder, but doing an inspection is the equivalent of, like, say, an hour and a half or however long you're in that home is the equivalent of you living in it for 5 to 7 years. The knowledge you get out of that, right? I don't know if it's changed, if that's what you got, right? But, so for a buyer to go in eyes wide open, pre-offer, knowing kind of what you're looking for, and then post-offer what you're going to negotiate, major ticket item stuff, bring Dan in and an inspector to really come in and pick it apart, get in the attic, get on the roof, get down in the crawl, do all these things, get, down and dirty.
Yep.
Fully protect you. The money you spend is priceless,
Yeah.
right? Like what you're saying, Dan. You come in and 4 months later and they didn't know what they didn't know, and then now it's a lot. It's no longer the previous owner's problem.
Yeah,
it's your
it's
problem.
yours.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct. Absolutely.
And that's crucial because, like, right when you're looking for a new home, you go in like you're so excited and you just want to be able to move, but to know that there's some issues here is beneficial.
Yeah.
And,
As if I could piggyback off what Jeff said, the buyer is going in there. There's a lot of emotions happening.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's stress.
Yep.
It's a change. It's a huge investment.
Yeah.
It's probably the biggest thing you're going to do in your life usually.
Yeah.
And it is not a time for them to be scared. I hear it so often. I'm really, really scared. I'm really nervous about the inspection. You should be nervous about not getting a good inspection.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Now is the time to address the issues
Yep.
and get familiar. You'd rather have the opportunity to replace and do things at your terms versus its.
Yeah.
Because when it decides to go, it's never a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always say it's like when a buyer goes in, I always tell them it's like you're looking here, which is like eye level, right? You're looking to see if you like it. You want to put your stuff in there. I'm looking up at the roof.
Yep.
I'm looking down at the floor. I'm looking at the ceiling. I'm looking
Furnace.
at everything up and
Yeah.
down, right?
We're just wondering where the TV's going to be.
Yeah. Right. And they're excited. I just showed, one of my buyers, I just came from a showing. One of my buyers walked through a for sale by owner, an open house, and I just came from there showing, and I walked through and I'm pointing out things, and him and his wife were looking at it. They're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know this. Right. I was pointing out so many more things.
Yeah.
Right. Because
Were you like,
you said,
here's my
Dan,
card.
Yeah. They're just seeing if they're kind of.
Kind of funny when you mentioned about the TV. I did an inspection last week, and I had to stop the buyers that were in there. I'm like, I don't care where you hang your TV. I don't care what
that
color
you, babe?
what color you paint the walls.
Yeah.
I don't care where you put your couch. I just
Yeah.
want you to have a great house in order to do
You
those
were like,
things.
move so I can get in the crawl space.
Because they tell stories about what their father did to their house, and
Sure.
it has nothing to do with this.
Sure. Yeah.
Yep.
So
we have
then,
to focus. And
How did you guys meet? How'd the two of you meet?
At an inspection.
farmers.com.
Inspector, gadget.
I was plowing.
And he found my tractor sexy.
Hold on. Erase that.
No, I believe it was, I think we got referred out by Paul Barker with AA+. I think you were using Paul Barker, and we got referred out from him. He was getting ready to retire, had some health issues. We shadowed him when we first started. Phenomenal inspector, great home inspector. Just I look up to him. And then Jeff and I just started working together. I really respected what he stood for and the team and the care that they put into everybody. And I don't flex. I haven't flexed from day one on what I do.
And it kind of helps that he sells 12. What did you say? How many homes have you?
1,200. Yeah, the last 5 years alone. But
That helps.
That kind of helps. Too.
It does. It does.
So how long
We
ago was
appreciate
that?
it. Almost 10 years.
10 years.
yeah. See, the thing is, I think one of the hardest things for inspectors to do is break in the industry, right? Because realtors, we have our inspectors that
Your team.
we go to, right?
Yeah.
That we recommend.
Yeah.
Right. Because and then when it's like, okay, you've lined yourself up, you're an extension of me, right? I'm an extension of you. I'll tell a story if I can.
Yeah.
When I first got into real estate 28 years ago, and I went to an inspection, my buyer wasn't there, hadn't gotten there yet. The inspector typically gets there about a half hour early, right? And they'll do the roof, they'll get whatever. The inspector at the time comes walking up to me and he says, and I don't know, I'm thinking that he just said this to test me to see what type of person in realtor and sales, whatever. I'm hoping this was the case. He says, hey, I found a UFFI down in the basement. He says, what do you want me to do? I said, what are you talking about? I said, what is a UFFI for one thing? Urea formaldehyde, it's a wrapping, it's a cancer forming, stuff like that, of the ductwork, whatever, maybe of the plumbing, right? The lines. You can say more Dan, about it, right? And I said, well, what would you put your family in this? He said, well, no. I said, I wouldn't put my family in this house, right? I said, so no. Buyers come, you tell them what they got. We're out of here. Right? Either we're moving, we're done, right? And he says, well, there's realtors out there that wouldn't do that. And I'm like, I hope to God that you're testing me.
Yeah.
Right? Because I hope that you're not one of those inspectors that just comes up to the realtor and says, what do you want me to tell your client?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because and that's why having the right people on my team, and Dan's an extension of me, because I know that the knowledge and everything that he's going to give them and break that house apart, I'm going to have everything about that house and negotiate it with the seller to take care of.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Of the kind of person you guys are, but also that, me as a client know, man, you guys care.
Yeah.
Whether I get, and that's why we've dealt with you, I think, through so many different things, because we like to call you and say, hey, what do you think? And you,
Except for when you're a Debbie Downer and we get there and you're like, look, the roof and the this and the that. And we're like, we don't care. We like the house. Well, I told you.
well,
Where do I put my TV, right?
Yeah, exactly.
where does the TV go?
Yeah, I feel it's important too that the buyer or even seller, because I do pre-list inspections, which we'll talk about later. It's important for them to contact that inspector prior to, because they're going to have questions. And having a conversation with your inspector prior to will give you a good understanding of what they stand for.
That's good.
I have realtors that I will not do inspections for anymore.
Yeah.
Done. I'm just not going to associate with that.
Yeah.
The last one, when I got there, before the buyer got there, she goes, I really need this to go through.
Wow.
And that was
Yeah.
absolutely heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
And again, I don't flex on what I do.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna protect my number one job, and
Yep.
as well it should be
Your integrity.
is to protect the buyer,
Yeah.
but also assist them, balance them. It's not just at the time of inspection that I'm there for people. It's 2.5 years from now on Tuesday when they have a question.
Yeah.
They can pick up the phone, they can call, I can walk them through. I know I'm built to protect and serve. I know exactly what I'm here for.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. And then I think too, when you're going into a house, if you're buying the house, I always used to tell my clients to bring a notebook. You can put it on your phone, but bring a notebook to ask the questions, right? Of like, okay, well, if they purchase the home, because you would always rattle off all the things of, maintaining your home and those type of things that were helpful. That, quite frankly, if you don't have a parent, like, a lot of times maybe a dad can teach you or something like that. But if you don't have a dad that knows or don't, have someone around to kind of ask questions, you're like the next best thing, right? And while you're there and they have your attention to be able to ask and like, okay, well, show me and tell me, and I want to go and I want to see what it looks like. You know what I mean? And really kind of get in there and things. And that's the best way to learn,
I've dropped off my tools many times at houses and got them started on a project and saw them through that project, and just,
That's cool.
I can't even count.
Wow.
Yeah. Dan leaves the house better than when he found it. Right. I mean, it's so funny because there's a minor fixing, with something, and he's out there fixing it for the seller. Right.
Yeah.
They come home and they're like, that's tight. That's all good. That's all done.
And then he leaves a bill on
which is beautiful.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Yeah. And does an excellent job at educating the buyers, taking the fear out of stuff. Right. Of like, guys, this isn't major. This is minor. This only is like $10, $20 deal. It's how you do it.
Yep.
You need help, call me. I'll be more than happy to help. Right.
And that's a fine line too, because you have all different types of individuals. Sometimes a loose outlet will scare somebody to death.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they don't know how to tighten it, or other people can handle it. My skill set is different than theirs.
Sure.
It's different than
definitely.
yours. Everybody's. What scares me might not scare you, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Well, that's hold on, but that says a lot about you in that type of person, because I'm the same way. I like to leave a place better than when we came into it.
Yeah.
Even when we that would go back to when we rent churches. That would go back to when I was younger. I mean, you leave a place better than when you came into it.
Yeah.
And showing, hey, we used it, but it's better off because we were there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
I think you better the seller's marriage too, man, because the wife comes and says, "Honey, did you finally fix that?"
And he'll be like, "Yes, I did."
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to talk about that, especially now, kind of how the market is, I've seen before. I don't know if the market is still this way, but sometimes agents would have their buyers, write in the offer to bypass the inspection, right? Mm-hmm. The offer is not contingent on the inspection. Oof. And it's such a risk. And for those that don't know, when you write it an offer, you should check the box. I mean, I don't know if I can say should, but there's a box you can check that it's contingent on inspection. So if anything comes up in inspection that, let's say the foundation is cracked and you're like, this is just going to be too much of a headache, I want out. That's kind of the way out of, your accepted offer. And so I know that with the market being crazy, sometimes people will say, well, I want, my offer to be accepted. So we're just going to not worry about inspection because no matter what comes up, like I still want the house. Do you see that it's still kind of that way in the market? Are there a lot of offers written that way, or?
It depends, right? Like I was just sharing with you my showing. We're going to write an offer on that. Ownership pride throughout, right? Roof is 9 years old. The furnace is 3. The water heater is 4 years old, mm-hmm. right? So it's like, what could go wrong, right? But you don't know what you don't know. Mm-hmm. So there's techniques and how to structure your offer, how to ask for inspections, how to do them for information purposes only. I always tell my buyers we're looking for major ticket item stuff, right? Roof, furnace, water heater, structural, electrical stuff, right? Stuff that's going to cost you money, decent amount. So maybe you don't ask for anything under $2,500, $2,000, $1,500, right?
Yeah.
You're looking for something that is a major ticket item thing that maybe the seller didn't know. If it is that foundation, boom, a home inspection is going to reveal or at least put eyeballs on the fact that, hey, we need to get this foundation inspected by a foundation specialist, right?
Yeah.
Furnaces, all this stuff, right? So you can, it keeps going back to who you hire matters too, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, do you have somebody that knows how to structure these offers to win?
Yeah.
But not release you from doing the things that you really need to be doing to protect yourself.
Sure.
Right? So there's ways of writing things to get offers accepted, and be extremely competitive. Right.
So from an inspection standpoint, Dan, is there anything that is kind of a deal breaker? I mean, I know it depends on the person, but are there things that you come across where it's like, run?
Absolutely. I think any issue that exceeds their budget or exceeds negotiation limits
Okay.
is definitely a deal breaker.
Okay. And you kind of probably know around how much it's going to cost. Like, okay, this needs a tear off. You know, the roof looks terrible. This is going to cost X amount. So they kind of have an idea, right?
Yes.
And then there is a way where you can write in the offer, like, let's say it is, but we really want to make this work on both ends. You know, we can do half the buyer pays, half the seller pays, right? There's a way you can write that in possibly.
Yeah, that's where, so like Dan, you know, with his background and knowledge in construction and stuff like that is key, because I can ask him, hey, how much is this? What do you think? What is this going to cost? How much of a repair is this? What are you thinking? Right. And, you know, that's where us as agents go back into renegotiating, right? To where it's like, okay. I mean, I always say my motto is this: either a seller either pays as they stay or they pay as they go.
Okay.
Right? Meaning that if they deferred maintenance on the home for as long as they've lived there, then they're expecting to pay as they go.
Sure.
Right? But if they've, like the one that I just came from, ownership pride throughout, right? I mean, they paid as they stayed. Something, if it got even close to the end life, they already replaced it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They already did that. Right? So I love that, what you just said, because what exceeds their budget or what exceeds the negotiation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure. I had somebody a couple weeks ago. They were buying the home, already walking in there knowing they're buying it as is.
Right.
No repairs are going to be done. They trust me. We had a great conversation. I found out their budget's $40,000. That's what they're going to use to update the house.
Yeah.
And I asked them, after you spend that on the exterior, what do you have left to work on every room inside the house?
Yeah.
We haven't talked about the basement yet.
Yeah. Exactly.
It was, we never made it inside the house.
Do you want to take these buttons with you when you go and talk
Yes. But we never made it inside the home. It was just the reality that they looked at it through puppy dog eyes.
Sure.
They really wanted it. The
Sure.
land was great. The barns were great. The
Yeah.
house was an absolute nightmare on the exterior. So their budget's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, the roof alone was $40,000. The exterior, the siding is probably going to be in that 50, 60 range.
Yeah.
So now they're $80,000-$90,000 on the outside of the house, and they haven't touched anything on the inside.
Wow.
Cheaper just to start over? Or?
And you know what? Maybe not. So we had that conversation about finding something that had cosmetic issues,
Sure.
but you could work on something that you didn't need.
Yeah.
But to finish up that question from earlier, as far as a deal breaker, one are things that exceed their budget or the negotiation limitations and things that are there, safety concerns, both health and structural, mold,
Asbestos.
asbestos abatement. If they want to renovate the house and it has vermiculite insulation in the attic, that abatement is extremely expensive.
Yeah.
That's $12,000, $15,000, $20,000
Yeah.
just to take the old insulation out.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that. And again, they have the right to know. And things that are just high cost repairs, plumbing repairs,
Yeah.
roof. Attic spaces don't lie. They're the most honest thing on a house.
Yeah.
So they will show you everything.
Yeah, I would say as long as the buyers are eyes wide open, right? You know exactly what you're buying.
Yeah.
You know exactly what it's going to cost.
You know exactly what you're getting into.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like you were saying, you just you didn't even make it inside.
Yeah.
Well, as an agent, I know that my buyers, their budget's $40,000. I'm picking up, being that I've learned so much with from my home inspectors and the costs of things, I can say, guys, we're hit on the outside.
Yep.
Your budget's already done.
Yep.
They didn't have to make it to the inspection and spend, for the inspection. We didn't even write the offer,
Yeah.
for that. So, but yeah,
These were kids I did the inspection for about 3.5 years ago on the house they're currently in. He has called me to consult me on projects that had nothing to do with this. Just in general, that's how much of our
cool.
relationship we built in that 2-3 hour time span.
Yeah.
Phenomenal kid. And that was, you could see the wind come right out of his sails because he drove by this house for the last 3.5 years and always wanted it.
Do you just do homes or do you do commercial as well?
I do some commercial, yes.
Okay. All right.
Do you-
Yeah,
do you
residential
do, like,
commercial.
churches too?
I need you
or-
Oh, I have done several churches.
You remember that guy that calls you when he needs
We're
Has
on the
nothing
list.
to do with
It
that.
has nothing to do with anything?
We just
His
did
name
it.
is Frank.
We just did a big church in East Lansing, and it took
Nice.
forever. That was an all-day project.
Yeah.
Just to look it over?
Oh, it was huge.
Wow.
Yep. And then we do sometimes commercial properties. We'll take
Yeah.
all day industrial, commercial. I'm familiar with that.
Well, I might have a property I need you to check out, but it's not going to take all day.
Well, good.
You don't know that.
Yeah, that's what you said.
He's like, oh, good. That's funny.
If you're selling a home, what are the major things you should fix before listing it? What are there anything you can give us tips on that?
I think structural and safety issues, if there's
Yeah.
cracks in the foundation, have that looked at. Again, I'll go back to doing things at your terms versus its.
Mm-hmm.
Most everybody, when you're in a house, you know somebody, you have somebody who can fix about anything. You just have to get a hold of them and get them out there. You just never knew that
That's what it was.
those things were needed.
Yeah.
You'll find out when you have your home inspected and the buyer says, I want 3 licensed builders out here
Yeah.
for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, I could have had my uncle over here who's done it for 40 years. We could have fixed it. And that's where the pre-list inspections come in. When I do a pre-list inspection for a seller that wants to sell the home, the price is the same. My inspection is just as thorough, and they have a really nice, a 35-page, 40-page picture book with good, bad, and different, everything that's in there.
Yeah.
And the tools that's worked well for hundreds of them is they will print off that report. They will have on the table that in a binder,
Yeah.
here is my recent inspection report.
Yep.
Here is a typed out thing of everything that we're
So
going to
they know.
fix based on the inspection report. And here is my stack of receipts showing that I fixed everything that's on my list. Buyers walking through that front door and they see a house that's well maintained.
Right.
They see an inspection report that's very thorough. It's it's indifferent because I'm just still protecting them, but I'm doing a very thorough inspection. They see that they cared enough to here's everything that they're doing and here's proof that I did all that. Most of those buyers coming in are those people that can waive the inspection. So if you have a good, and it works well.
Yeah.
But the things that scare me are, again, people that waive the inspection because there's 30 offers on the house. Everybody's paying over, and to get the deal
Yep.
sweet,
Yep.
but sprinkles on top of frosting,
Yeah.
they said, hey, we're going to waive the inspection.
Yep.
And they do it, and it's scary. Some
Yeah.
of the most problematic houses I have were over $1 million, and they were new builds.
Some people out there only heard frosting.
Yeah.
I heard sprinkles on top of frosting.
And how much is an inspection?
Typical price is
Does it run?
$360, $380.
Yeah. So I mean, to have that peace of mind, or at least
Yep.
know what you're getting into, and before you purchase it, and now you're thousands of dollars, that is so minute compared to your peace of mind, or at least knowing, right?
Sure.
Like, okay, we'll need to fix this in a year or whatever, as long as it's not safety.
I get asked all the time, well, would you buy the house? Would you do this? Would you do that? And I put it like this. I've done 10,000 inspections. I'm a licensed builder. If I am purchasing a home today, 3, 4, 500,000, 200,000, it doesn't matter. I am going to have myself there. I'm going to have my partner, Bill, our associate, Curtis, there. I'm going to have a well and septic
Your
inspector
business
there.
partner, Bill, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. He owns his company, and we've just partnered up for forever.
Yeah.
Bill Narita, phenomenal guy. And I'm also going to have another inspector, Ben Durant, there, who is local to the area. I'm going to have Ben there because I trust him.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a pest inspector there.
Yeah.
I'm going to invest
Sure.
$700-800 into that,
Yep.
and I do it for a living.
Yeah.
If that tells you anything.
Yeah.
That's how important those things are, because if you invest, let's say you do a sewer scope, or you do a well and septic, and you do a pest inspection, you have $700 in there. What item can you repair on your house for $700? What can you hire and repair for $700?
Yeah.
That's not a faucet.
Yeah.
You're talking just staggering dollar amounts if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
So that's one of my fears is missing something, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
Well, did you have some?
Well, I was just going to share a story.
Okay.
Yeah. So early on in my career, I sold my own house and got a buyer. It was actually one of my buyers I was working with. And they were like, we don't have the money for the inspection. And so I paid an inspector to inspect my own house, only to find out that the inspection that I had 3 years prior said I had insulation up in my attic. I didn't have any insulation up in my attic. The buyers walked away because it didn't have insulation up in my attic. And I put insulation up in my attic and then resold it.
Yeah.
But the reality is that I spent the money. It was so important for the inspection on my own house, as well. But it revealed to me, like the pre-inspection, right? Revealed to me, oh my gosh, no wonder I've had ice dams on my on my roof, and all this stuff. So
Did you ever get that leak fixed around the chimney?
yeah,
Good.
yep,
Now Dan can sleep at night.
exactly, yep.
Okay, but let's talk about why this is important. But then, what's the downfall? Because
Dan's there is none.
No, there is.
well, hold on. So I'm paying for an inspection on a house that's not mine, and if I don't get the house,
You still have to pay for it.
It's the best
but
money.
I just want I want the listeners and the viewers
I'll let you
Sure.
go ahead.
understand.
Well, there's a fine line. There's a balance that has to happen. The inspector you have to be up on cost of things. You have to be up on materials. You have to be up on processes. You have to be great at communication.
Yeah.
You have to be thorough. You have to be fast. You have to be you have to be a chameleon out there.
Yeah.
That realtor has walked those people through 20, 30 houses, spent the last year driving around, making nothing.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you go through and you do an inspection report, and there's 3 things in there that just scare the daylights out of them. And it should. Now that realtor has to go back and they got to negotiate. Maybe they can only ask for something that's up to $2,500. And maybe it's a few things that they don't know how to fix. That is where being well connected and looking out for people's best interests comes into play.
Yeah.
I can walk them through. I can put them in people that are way smarter than I am, that are very, very knowledgeable in the industry, and get the answers. You may not like their answers, but they're going to be straightforward and they're going to be honest. We don't have time to mess around.
Right.
So this goes all the way back to asking your inspector questions. Call them up real quick, do a 5-10 minute phone call before you have your inspection. If it's scheduled next Tuesday, give them a call and just talk to them over the phone.
Yeah.
Because you can ask some pretty good questions and you can see their response. And you just have to be well prepared going in, but it's super important. I would never not get any inspection.
Yeah.
Even forced to. During COVID, that was another one that homes were just few and far between. Everybody was fighting to get them.
Yep.
I would go in and I would go to 3 showings a day with a realtor. We had 30 minutes in that house. I told the buyers, don't ask me anything. Just let me go for 30 minutes and I'm going to wander. I'm going to look.
Yep.
And that's how they bought their houses.
Yeah. Yep.
And it worked great.
Yeah.
Did you have something to add?
Yeah, I was going to say, I always say the best time to find out something is when you don't own it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, so, the inspection costs, I'm like, thank God we spent this and found this
Yeah.
to be able to walk away, right?
Yeah.
It's like, that's why we do it.
Yeah.
Right? But I always say, it's like, you found the house. I always say the house sells itself, right? Now we have to negotiate through the rest and keep that feeling in there. It doesn't matter if it's my buyer or the next buyer. That issue is still going to be an issue. So whether they negotiate with me and sell it to my buyer or the next buyer, they're going to have to do the work, right? So it depends on the agent that's negotiating and how strong they are, and not like, oh, hey, I need this deal. right? Type deal, which is
Yikes.
out there, right? So it's like the best money spent,
Right.
right, for that, because $800 compared to $8,000,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Any crazy stories on inspections that anything you want to?
I think back a few years ago, a young couple, she was a nervous Nelly about everything. It was a nice older house in Leslie. And I'm recapping in the basement. I'm walking them through how to take care and how to tuck point a stone foundation, the old Michigan foundation. So I'm walking them through because they didn't know how to do it. He's willing, never done it before. So we're having a conversation. I'm standing there. She's right next to me. We're staring 2 feet away from this wall. And the largest rat snake. Oh, I'm talking, if it was under 4.5 feet, I'd be lying. Wow. It comes out around the rock and just slowly goes right back around. And it's just long. It's just going and going and going. And finally the tail comes out of the hole and goes in. And I turn and I look at her and she says, "Oh, we're not going to have any rats." I thought we were done. I thought we were done. And it was just great. My old partner, Jeff Olson, was there with me, and it was just fantastic.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
Did they go for the house?
Yes, they did.
Wow.
Yeah, and I stop by every time I go by Leslie and I have a couple minutes, I'll swing in there and knock at the door and visit them. And,
That's cool.
They said they were going to do certain things, and they've done everything they were going to do. And it's just, I love seeing that.
And now the snake is their pet.
It's bigger. It's like an anaconda.
But she's right. There's no rats.
Yeah, and then of course raccoons are just terrible.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Well, and I don't know if you know this. That's a cool story because clearly you make connections with, not only agents' clients, but also they're essentially your clients at that point. So you're making these connections. And I don't know if you remember this. I was an agent for Jeff for 2.5 seconds, but during COVID.
Come on, 3. Come on.
And you came to do an inspection on a house. It was, I don't even think they were married. I think it was they were dating, and she was younger and she had to get gas, and she was like, right before we're the inspection's done, like we're leaving, whatever, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I came here like on fumes, I'm on E, can you drive me to the gas station?" And I was like, and I had a dentist appointment, like you can't be late to those because then you can't get in for like another 3 years. So I was like, and I really had to go because it was a longer inspection, whatever, and I was like, I really can't, I have to hurry. And then you're like, "Oh, I'll take you." And so I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." So you took her, and she told me later that you paid for her gas. And I thought that was so cool because you, number one, didn't have to. And you could have also been like, well, I got to hurry and I got to go or whatever. But you did that, and then you also, paid for her gas. And they were young. I don't even remember if both of them were working, and it was a small house, But I just thought that was, I don't know if you remember that. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that to me shows like the integrity and character. Those are the people, and those are the people that you are aligned with, Jeff, even Eloy being on the show, and having character and integrity. And so it's cool to, when you've been in the business after a while and you've seen good and bad probably of people's character, especially in the business that you're in, it's got to feel good to be aligned with people like that when people are kind of down and out. I mean, hey, yeah. I didn't even, like that was cool. And so,
so if you ever see Dan on the side of the road and you need gas, just wave him down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I will say, so there's been times my job is to protect my buyer, right? They brought in an inspector. I know how an inspection should go. Didn't even bring in any tools, didn't bring in anything. I'm turning on water. He's turning them off. This is a foreclosure that hasn't even been... there's no water, there's no nothing running. There's plumbing. There could be massive issues, right? Mm-hmm. I'm turning stuff on because I know how it should be. Mm-hmm. Guy did absolutely nothing. He would go, he turned everything off. I turn it all back on. Finally, I'm calling my office. I'm like, I'm losing it, right? And I went at him, which is my job. I shouldn't have to, right? But I'm protecting my buyer.
Sure.
Right? You're here. You're getting paid. This is what you need to do. Go get the tools. Yeah. I don't care. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, they're in my truck. Go get them.
Yeah.
That's your job.
Yeah.
Right. And, just the what could go wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you could hire the wrong person that basically popped a magnet on his car and he's just charging people for nothing.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. So before we kind of wrap up, for anybody listening that own a home, Dan, what are like kind of some tips that you can give? You know, like I know that there was a lot of first time home buyers where you're like sort of teaching them, you know, hey, you need to change your furnace filter what's the answer?
Depends on the size of the filter, but check it every couple months.
Yeah.
And don't ask yourself a third time.
Yeah.
If it looks bad, change it.
Yeah.
Understand there is an arrow on the top of your furnace filter, and that's the way the air flows. Cold air goes through it. You ever blow? Have you ever blown through a harmonica?
Yeah.
Have you ever sucked through a harmonica?
No.
Yeah, one sounds way better.
Yeah.
And that's the same with the furnace filter.
Yeah.
So check your furnace filters. Get in your attic. Get in your crawl spaces. Yes, it's uncomfortable. You know, successful people do things. Yeah.
What are you looking for when you're going to your crawl space or your attic?
Crawl space, run everything. Have somebody in those bathrooms in the kitchen running water.
Okay. So you're looking for drips.
My associates, my partner Bill, Curtis, we have a running bet that we've had for years, and we bet Chick-fil-A
Good bet.
on whether or not we're going to find leaks in this crawl space. Why? Because nobody goes in there and checks.
Yeah.
Not me.
We had one that we ran the other day. Their only bathtub. No plumbing's connected underneath. It's gone.
Yikes.
So everything time you run the bath, it runs right inside the crawl space. Yes. So
So you're looking for leaks.
yes,
Drafts.
and
probably.
you can hear them. If you don't want to climb in, just run things. You can hear water running. You can hear
If you
dripping.
don't want to climb in, call Dan.
Yeah, and I'll send Bill. But attic spaces, check for mold.
Yeah.
It was one of those things. I'm going out tomorrow. To help a lady in Lansing. She is an older lady. I went out to look at her roof. There were 1 million people out there calling her. It was a lead through Angie. Okay. They get bombarded with phone calls. We're talking 50, 60 phone calls in a matter of a couple hours. She had 2 people out that have already gave her estimates on a new roof for her house. Because after the storm, she found shingles in her yard. Okay. So I get out there, I get up on the roof, and I'm looking, and I took a video for her. I still have it on my phone. It was perfect. Her roof is perfect. I look at the date stamp on the rubber vet boot pipe. The pipe that goes up, the rubber boot that goes on it, they're all date stamped with a clock. It's at 2017. The roof is not that old. The shingles were from her neighbor's house. But the other 2 people were selling her a roof, and she didn't need it. But what she did need, when I got up and I said, when the other guys came out here and they looked at your roof and they got in the attic, what did they find? Well, they never got up in the attic. Really, because attic spaces don't lie. They tell the honest truth on what's going on. So I get up there and we see mold. Not a lot, but it's because she has really low insulation.
Yeah.
So she calls her son. She's an older lady. She calls her son, puts his son on speakerphone. He's a real sharp guy. And we start having a conversation, and I'm walking him through how to take care of it, what products to buy, how to take care of it, and then blowing insulation, where to buy the cubes of insulation, because Ace Hardware in Eaton Rapids still gives a machine for free. Okay, that's the only place.
Good tip.
Yeah. So anyway, and she said, can I just hire you to do it? So I'm taking my daughter. We're going out there
Nice.
tomorrow.
Cool.
We're going to help her with that.
You're teaching your daughter.
Oh, I have 2 daughters. One was a vet tech.
Good.
And she's 30, and she has now started a painting company. She started that 5 months ago.
Cool.
And she said, Dad, I want to do this. I'm like, finally, because she is incredible. She is my finisher.
That's cool.
We've worked on Jeff's house
That's cool.
and recently.
Yep.
And my younger one decided to leave what she was doing. She just turned 21 and she's helping her. But she helps me with inspections, and they're learning a lot, and they're just incredible. But
That's cool.
yeah.
How do we? How do people get a hold of you? How do they find you? What are your outlets? What are your handles?
Call Jeff.
Yeah.
Give me Dan's number.
Phone call. I think they can email me at dwiles1970. It's WILES 1970 at Yahoo, or they can call me directly 517-667-4540. I do not have a website. I never needed one.
Yeah.
It's just one more thing that I would have managed or not managed.
Yep.
And we've been staying insanely busy.
That's cool.
Jeff, you got any final words?
This is all great stuff.
Yeah, good stuff.
Reason
Any
why we're
final
doing
words?
No. I'm good.
It's a good show.
Listen, man, this is important.
Yep.
Inspection. You don't want to go to the house looking all like, yes, this is it, when it's not the one, because there's stuff that you're going to have to deal with when it's all said and done. And so,
pay for the inspection.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being
Well, thank you for the time
on the show. Listen, you've been watching the E612 show, and we are glad you've been a part of everything we were doing on this series of home buying.
Yeah.
Listen, catch you next time. Warrior out.